Hi, this is Ethan at Bellingham Kite Paddle Surf, and we've had some time to get on the new Armstrong wing, the XPS. Today we're here with one of our sponsored riders, Jordy. What do you like about this wing, Jordy?
Well, I've been on this thing for a couple weeks now in really good conditions and really bad conditions. And the biggest thing that stands out is the range. With these new stiff wings, they really perform super well in relatively light conditions for their size or really pretty overpowered. They still do a really great job. I've been pretty stoked on that. Also, I mean, if you haven't tried one of these newer generation stiff wings, it's kind of just unreal how much better they go upwind. You can just hold a really, really hard angle going upwind, and you get so much instant power with just the little pumps.
Yeah. So you're saying that the canopy is really stiff, so it'd catch all the gusts really efficiently. So maybe you wouldn't recommend it as your first wing getting into the sport, but for those intermediate and progressing riders.
Yeah, this is definitely a little bit better of maybe a second wing for sure. Although beginners are really going to love it with those hard handles, you can really keep your wingtip out of the water.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, it's got some quirks, and it definitely takes some retraining to learn how to ride one of these stiff, hard-handled wings.
Yeah, so let's talk about the handles. So what we're kind of seeing in the industry is a lot of people are going to be moving from the long, soft handles into two hard handles. It's somewhat replacing the boom just because you get a lot of benefits that you would from a boom, but you don't have to install it and you shave that additional fee. One of the main things I noticed, and it'd be interesting to hear your thoughts, but is this pistol grip. So when you're riding depowered, you can hold the pistol grip and you can control the wing, kind of have it wherever you want it to go. Flags out really well. I don't know if you have any thoughts on the handles.
I really like these handles, especially compared to the other hard-handled wings which I've ridden.
Yeah.
I love that they're coated. It feels like I can relax my hands more rather than just being a plastic handle.
Yeah.
And they're just a nice comfortable size, which helps with the pump on the hands. And then as someone who's relatively new to hard-handled wings, I think anyone coming from soft handles is going to be really stoked like I am about having the ability to trim your hands not only on your rear handle like you would on a soft-handled wing, but also getting to trim that front hand. You can get so much leverage and so much power. Yeah. It's been a really kind of a game changer.
As well as shed power too, right?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Another thing I really like about the handles is just the shape. These ones, as opposed to like the sling wing, that's like a round bar. These ones are pretty flat. I find that the wing really rests well in my hand. You can kind of, instead of like having to grab onto it, you can almost just like corral it. You don't have to really like hold on to it too much.
Yeah, you gotta corral it.
Yeah, that's right.
Another really cool feature about these things is their batons.
Yeah.
They've got removable batons, and yesterday, Ethan and I were both out on a 3.5, and we were way overpowered, but we popped the batons in both of our wings, and even being way, way overpowered, it was still super manageable. What did you think?
Yeah. So using the batons, what you do is you flattening them in that trailing edge of the wing, and it'll tighten up the canopy, so it's not as loose and it sheds more air. So it's nice to have that like minor adjustability. You know, you go with a 3/6 or whatever size you go with, and then you can make it act like a little smaller, a little bigger wing, which is a pretty sweet feature. I also think the windows, I can't say I'm a huge fan of windows on wings, but we're not used to crowds in Bellingham, but down in Hood River is super crowded, and it was nice to have good visibility. I wouldn't rely on it, but.
Yeah, but this is the first wing I've ever ridden where I've found the windows to be useful. That was a surprise, a really pleasant surprise. Yeah, I use them all the time now.
I would say one of my main complaints about this wing, and it's pretty minor because I don't really use a harness line too much anymore, but they just have these really wide, skinny harness line loops that, the harness lines I've used in the past are not compatible with. I'm sure there's a way to figure that out, but I thought that was kind of funky. Is there anything you don't like about the wing?
I have a hard time picking anything.
Yeah.
I mean, all the features, all the usability, the interface, the valves, the handles, everything's pretty great. The only thing I would say is it takes a little bit of retraining maybe for your first couple sessions, especially going downwind. But I really recommend anyone make the switch to hard handles as soon as your financial planner allows it.
Yeah, I think maybe one other thing I've noticed like that's slightly negative is as opposed to some of the lighter wings, maybe some options from Ozone, switching the wing on jibes side to side, it's a little slow compared to those really light options that kind of just cruise around. But I did find like just learning tacks and doing tacks, this one with that direct connection, you can really shove it to the other side going on those upwind turns. So in comparison to the previous generation of the Armstrong wing, the A-wing V2, the XPS is definitely going to be a lot more lightweight. It's more efficient upwind. The handles are a lot better. You know, we love those hard handles. So I think it's really improved on all fronts. Yeah. So Jordy, you recently picked up a couple XPSs. Tell us what sizes you brought and what wind ranges you've been using them in.
Yes, I just replaced my quiver with these, and I pay for them despite being affiliated with you guys. And I picked up a 4.6 and a 3.5. I've found that for me at 175 pounds, the 4.6 is about as big as I would ever need.
Yeah.
If there's less wind than that, it's just not very fun. And then we had this 3.5 out way overpowered yesterday and like 45 knots.
Yeah.
And it still totally worked.
Yeah.
So I would say if you get a 3.5 and a 4.6, for me, I'm covered between 16 to 45.
Yeah.
Although that was a little spicy, but
yeah. If you're coming down to the gorge a lot, a smaller size could be beneficial, but you can definitely make these work.
Yeah, 3.5 and then maybe something a little smaller for the gorge would be super sick. But this 3.5 is probably an everyday wing down here.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Jordy.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for watching this video. The link to our product page and our website is going to be in the description below. If you have any questions, leave a comment, give us a call at the shop, and we'll see you on the next one.